At this moment, I need a flashlight to make the beginning of the sermon work. Because you see, the beginning of the sermon was to point at the first window over there, the very first stained glass window. And I'm going to have Vicki now stand up and describe it to you, because she's your closest. No. And of course, now this time of year in the Northern Hemisphere, let's just say we don't have a lot of light. But I'll tell you what's in that first window. There is a dead stump. And out of the dead stump, there is a vine, a green vine, alive, fresh, growing out of a dead stump. And it calls to mind that first lesson that Cindy read moments ago that said, out of the stump of Jesse, a historical figure, father of King David, out of the stump of Jesse, out of that line of inheritance, will come a new leader, a new ruler, something new and fresh out of the deadness of what was. We'll get to that. For now, let's just say, what is that really about? Vine, growing, green, out of a dead stump. It's about hope. It's about God. Who God is, what God does. It's about you and me. It's about our souls. If our souls are not dead, if the seed of God within you has not withered and wasted away, this holy season, Advent, Christmas, will do a number on you. It will find a way to touch you, to surprise you in unguarded moments. Maybe it's the colors, the lights, the songs and sounds of the season, the promise of this time of year has a way of awakening deeper realities within us. Small example. I entered a room, just from one room to another, one point this week. Just walking to fetch something. Walking into the new room, there was music playing. And before I could think, before I could form any concept, before my ego got involved, I knew it was a Christmas song. And before I could think about it, something happened. It was a hope, a joy that wasn't there 1 millisecond before. It was suddenly there, full blown within my own being. Before I could even tell you or even recognize one single word of the song, the very sound of it transported me into a world more beautiful, gracious, and filled with hope than the one my mind normally indwells. I felt a beauty, I felt a hope, I felt a love, I felt a great longing for me, for my heart, for the world, for everything to be filled with the rest, the peace, the sweetness that out of the blue just washed over me and through me in one moment. The music awakened something lying dormant in my own being, springing to life in an instant. I'm hardly alone. Mystic moments of such longing love, moments of knowing something deeper within our souls are not at all uncommon. Frankly, they are the birthright of human beings, human souls made in God's image. You know, it happens in all kinds of ways. Maybe it's the 1,001 or 10,001 colored lights on one of your neighbors that goes all out this time of year. Maybe it's the flickering glow of a single candle across the room. Maybe you're driving down the darkened street that you have driven down 500 times before, that you know so well like the back of your hand, and coming around the bend, you see a single candle in a darkened window, and all of a sudden, a rush of emotion fills you and draws a smile, or a tear, or a wistful hope, more real, powerful, and undeniable than anything you'd felt in days. Why is that? It's because there's something mysterious, something wonderfully alive, something profoundly beautiful that lives in you and each of us. An author I sometimes read calls this something the God seed, the God seed. It's the life, the love, the passion of Christ that is present in us. A seed from which sprouts a tender shoot of life that every now and again breaks through the hard shell of our well-protected egos, breaks through our sarcasm and cynicism about the way the world really works, breaks through our suspicion of what's going on in our lives and in the motivations of others, pushing through also our own doubts and disbelief that God is really real and can be really real in us in ways that change us. A shoot shall come from the stump of Jesse. That's what the stained glass window is about. That's what that first lesson is about. A prophet by the name of Isaiah wrote the words more than 2,700 years ago. At that time, he was speaking of a king, a ruler, who was going to come to a depressed and defeated people. He would be filled with the Spirit of God, this ruler. He'd bring justice to the poor. He'd bring equity to society. He would bring healing to creation. He would usher in a new era of peace where hurting and killing are no more, and the bitter hatreds and animosities and the blood stains that poison all of history. Divisions that divide every family. That would all be replaced by a blessed peace. It's 2,700 years later. We don't have that world still. And as Christians, it is our faith that the ruler, the king, the one who is to come that Isaiah spoke about when he talked about the lion and the lamb, and the knowledge of the Lord and God's sweet peace filling the earth as the water covers the sea. As Christians, we believe the ruler who brings that, the one of whom Isaiah spoke, is Jesus the Christ. But even Jesus' kingdom of mercy and justice has not been fulfilled as the waters cover the sea, covering all it is. Nonetheless, that tender shoot of fragile life, new life, does grow. Kind of like a blade of grass, a dandelion, sometimes poking up through the concrete. We know and see that fragile new life coming every time we see an act of mercy or justice, in every kindness we see it. And we feel it too in those surprising moments when the glow of a candle, or the sounds and songs of the season, or the beautiful hope of Isaiah's words awakens that God seed within us, and there is a rush of faith and hope and love and longing that is the life of Christ being born in us, just as surely as Christ was born in that Bethlehem stable 20 centuries ago. The life that he is, the love he is, the beauty he is, the passion for justice and mercy he is. This is in you. It is the seed, the God seed in you, pushing at the hard crust of your heart. Pushing to grow into something beautiful for God. Something beautiful for the world. and something beautiful for you. That you may know the joy of Christ being born in your own flesh. In Advent, we talk about Christ coming as an infant at Bethlehem, or coming at the end of time to complete his kingdom of mercy. But in between, Christ comes and is present to be born in each of us again and again. So a bit of Advent, December spiritual advice. During these December days, sit and observe the stuff of your life. Pray all the ways you feel dead and dry. Pray all the ways you want something new to grow and feel alive and hopeful and joyful again. As you make your preparations for the big day, listen to music that awakens your heart. Gaze into a candle and listen to your own life. You just might hear the voice of someone wonderfully alive, longing to be born. And pay attention as you go about your work. Pay attention as you drive along those darkened streets, because unexpected moments will come, and some of them will take your breath away right before they teach you how to breathe the love who longs to live in you and fill the earth as the waters cover the sea. May it come soon.